I am back after literally half a second. It was probably even a quarter of a second. And yes, I am back. I'm back to repeat myself. I'm back to practice. I'm back to practice making peace with repeating myself. I'm back to do what is best for me. It's as though after the 2 videos I made this morning and having them go in such a unexpectedly amazing way, feeling myself just unconsciously utilizing the tools I've learned in all the previous videos to just go for it and communicate things that were more of a deeper level, things I have a desire to communicate. It's like when I started this channel, I recognized I had to take baby steps. And I started with my shorts. And then once I finally got into these videos, over 10 minutes and speaking without preparation, I found it's like I just naturally adapted and did what I had to do to make it to where I wanted to be. It's like the first 20 videos, let's just say that, the first 20 videos are me being super vulnerable and brave and sharing my experience of gaining comfort doing this because that is what I had to do in order for me to get to the next step. Excuse me. And I was thinking about it. It's like there is an option to delete. It's like once I get to this certain level, once I've gained a certain level of comfort, then I begin to, sorry for moving so much, that I begin to no longer need to be as open and vulnerable in regards to my feelings and my insecurities. And it's like once I'm finally delivering like more content, what I want to talk about, which in a sense I feel like I already am. I didn't think I was, but I am. But there is this possibility of deleting all of the first steps of me getting to where I wanted to be. Just getting rid of all of those old videos, the evidence of me and my struggles, and just presenting myself as popping up on the scene as this whatever I am at this certain level. Just getting rid of all the evidence of where I started. And that is absolutely 100% something that I would never choose to do. Never. It goes against everything I am. It goes against everything I believe. Because as I've mentioned before, my channel is not about the individual videos. It's about the journey that is perceivable through time. It's about the possibility of change and growth. It's like, what's possible? This is possible. And this is how it happened. This is where I started. This is the process of getting to this next step. And these are the possibilities that opened once I got to this step. And then that led me to here, because I was able to recognize this. And in recognizing this, all of these other options opened up. As I'm making this channel, I'm recognizing something about myself. Not something that I've never noticed before, but something that I've noticed before, and that's sort of the point. This is an experience I've had many, many, many a time. And as this experience shows up for me to perceive it over and over, it's like validation of the conclusion of my perception. It's like, okay, there it is again. Like I mentioned this, and here it is again. And then here it is again, and here it is again, and here it is again. It's like, what I've noticed as I've made this channel is it's happening again, and I haven't even told you what it is. And it's actually interesting because of my knowing of self and having this repeated over and over, I was sort of able to know that this was going to happen. It's sort of this idea of how do I even articulate this? It's this idea of my YouTube channel isn't just a channel about a specific topic. My YouTube channel is a presentation of my own experience of creating a YouTube channel. There's a meta nature. And I'm smiling so widely because I love meta. I always love when I discover something meta, especially within myself. Because, and this is, I'm not going to be able to go into this, but I'm just going to have confidence in saying this without explaining it. But for me, I've noticed that whenever I discover something meta within myself, it's like that's the core of something. And I am accessing a very huge potential for healing in discovering this insight. As I bring this up, I'm thinking I'm not going to be able to speak on it more at this point, but I absolutely will in the future because I have so much writing about this. And that's another thing. Before I started this channel, I knew, just because I know myself, just because I've done the self-discovery, I knew that I was going to have faith and not care about people misunderstanding. And because of the nature of my mind, what was going to happen was I was going to have to make claims such as what I just said about the meta, claims about things, about myself and my experience and my perceptions. And sort of just drop them in vagueness with the intention and strong desire to come back to it at another point and go so much deeper into it. And as I say that, it's like I should explain why. It's because, and I love that we're getting into this. We're getting into this deepness again, even though we're at 11 minutes. The reason why I can't explain the whole meta thing in this moment, or so many other things, it's like my perception of this being something I experience and something that is significant, it's just like what I mentioned before about whatever else that was, that repeated experience that validates. I've had this experience of perceiving this meta nature over and over and over and over in regards to many different things. Many different things. That it's as though the meta nature, the thing about all of these experiences that was what tied them all together, was the priority of mind, and everything else just sort of falls away and becomes less priority and more intuitive. A sort of treasure chest of information for me to happen back upon at some point later, due to my mind and my heart having an experience that associates it with this past experience and allows my mind to sort of take this very nuanced and complex path, this thought pattern, back to this old valuable piece of information. And so I cannot explain the meta thing anymore because it has to happen naturally. And I'm smiling. And this is just something this is who I am. And yeah, this video went well. Though, as I said, there was a lot of explaining the complexity of my mind. And there's a subtle part of me feeling like, okay, I did my best, and a lot of people, or just based on my experience, it's not going to be, in my experience, my perception of self has not been validated because my experience of self is vastly different and so much more complex than the people I've encountered have the ability to fathom. And it creates this impossibility of being truly seen and truly understood, which is painful for me. But I'm proud because in this moment I've shared it. I'm gonna post this, and part of this channel is finding people who are like me, who have the ability to say, I know what you're talking about. And that's a big aspect of my channel. to find community with like-minded people. Let's end this here. 15 minutes, my longest video.